Thank you for the opportunity. This question is what 55% of our revenue, which is ROI.
Are we okay to start, sir?
Yes, madam.
Okay. Very good afternoon to all the participants. Thank you for logging into this call with the management of Rail Vikas Nigam Limited. We are very pleased to host the management team represented by Mr. Pradeep Gaur, Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Rajesh Prasad, Director Operations, Mr. Sanjeev Kumar, Director of Finance and CFO. We will start with opening remarks from the management on the recent business updates and the business outlook going forward, also on the industry updates. And post that, we will take up question and answers. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Okay. Very good afternoon, Ankita madam and the investors present over here. As suggested by Madam Ankita, we will be giving you the brief about RVNL, the future outlook, and the details about RVNL planning. So let us go back to the history. This particular company is 19 years old. This was created to meet the infrastructure deficit on the Indian Railways by the then Honorable Prime Minister Bharat Ratna Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee. This company is a Schedule A, Mini Ratna Category 1, and it is under process to Navratna, and we qualify all the parameters and the criteria required to become a Navratna company. We have been executing 30 to 35% of the Indian railway infrastructures. For the doubling, it is about 37%, and the railway electrification is about 30%. And this financial year 2021-22, this figure will be slightly higher in terms of the physical delivery as well as the capex. So this will be around 40%. RVNL has been functioning as an executing arm, capex arm, or the extended arm of the Ministry of Railways, and to work for and on behalf of the Ministry of Railways with regard to the project assigned RVNL.
Sorry to disturb, sir. I think there is one investor who's put up a query that your voice is coming too low. So if possible, if you can speak a little louder.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm coming closer to the mic.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay. So now what I had said is the RVNL has been functioning as an extended arm, executing arm, and the capex arm of Ministry of Railways for execution of the Indian Railways infrastructure projects. We were assigned about 180 odd projects, out of which about 110 projects have been completed. The strength of this particular company has been that it has introduced large-scale mechanization. It has developed extensive expertise in taking all stages of project development. We have got the requisite skills and experience to follow the international norms. We have the harmonized version of the tendering system, which is the worldwide in practice, and it has a sound and robust financial management system. We have got one vertical HSRC Infra Services Limited, 100% subsidiary, to provide consultancy services and as a bidding arm of this particular company. The mission of this particular company is to create a state-of-the-art rail transport infrastructures to meet the growing demand in the country. And as I said, we have already completed 110 projects, and in terms of the project delivery, it is more than 13,000 route kilometers. During the financial year 2021-22, we have completed the railway infrastructures for the new line, gauge conversion doubling to the extent of around 800 kilometers, and which is all-time high. And in terms of the capex also, we are going to break the previous year's financial performance. And last year we had a turnover of 15,000 crores, and in terms of capex, it was 18,000 crores plus, with a CAGR of 27%. We are going to have a better CAGR the way things are moving in terms of capex and in terms of the physical performance. Last year, as I said, we had about 15,000 crores. This year, the figure may cross 20,000 crores. And for the first time, we had crossed the profit before tax of 1,000 crores. And again, this will get increased by another 25 to 30%. If you see the performance, the MOU rating by the Department of Public Enterprises, uh, we had received the two ratings for the year 2019-20 and for the year 2020-21. For the year 2019-20, which we received in the month of October 2021, it was number one PSU in the country, not only within the Ministry of Railways. And for the financial year 2020-21, it was first amongst the Indian Railway PSUs and third overall in the country. And if you see the overall in last 11 years, it has been rated continuously as an excellent company, excellent rating. And out of 9 years, last 9 years, 7 times it has been number one company under Ministry of Railways. It is important to highlight that what kind of projects we are executing. Basically, we are executing all types of railway infrastructure works, which includes new lines, gauge conversion, doubling, third line, fourth line projects, railway electrification, river and road over bridges, workshops, the turnkey projects, technically challenging mountain projects, and tunnels, institutional buildings, mega bridges, cable stayed bridges, metro projects, multimodal transport system, etc. And in the field of the tunnels, at this moment we are executing more than 60 number of tunnels. And in only one project of Karnaprayag Rishikesh, we had recently achieved 25 kilometers of tunneling in that challenging project. The turnkey projects, we have completed 13 number of turnkey projects, which includes basically the civil engineering part, electrical part, S&T part, and the mechanical part. And some of the key projects which are being implemented is the Rishikesh Karnaprayag New Line project, which is 125 kilometers in length, out of which 84%, more than 100 kilometers, is through the tunnels. We had constructed one cable stayed bridge at Bardhaman. We had constructed 6.7 kilometer of tunnels in about 24 months of time. We are constructing a vertical bridge, which is first of its kind in Indian Railways. That is also going to be completed and commissioned very shortly. Earlier, we had executed a Valarpadam Idapalli new line, a bridge where that time it was the longest bridge of around 4.62 kilometers. And another hilly terrain area, we are constructing a Bhanupalli Bilaspur very new line. We have got another model of special purpose vehicles. We have generated 77,000 crores of revenue for Indian Railways without any additional investment by Ministry of Railways. I was talking about the capex. In the month of January, we had achieved a capex of 1 trillion INR, 1 lakh crores, which was used for the implementation of the Indian railway infrastructure. And if you see the breakup after 2014, 1st of April 2014, it had a component of around 84 to 85%. So 84,000 crores of expenditure has been made in the Indian railway infrastructures in last 8 years. Coming to the future outlook, basically we are having three models. One model is the works which have been assigned by Ministry of Railways. We have already commissioned and handed over the 110 number of projects out of 180 projects. And the present order book is around 65,000 crores, which includes around 52% of new line, 11% of metro. And the second model is the SPV model. We have formed 6 number of SPVs. There are 8 number of SPVs which are in pipeline. two SPVs like Pachwara Coal Block SPV and the Sardega Pavilma. They are slightly on the advanced stage, and the feasibility studies, DPR, etc., have been made. Bankability studies in one case have also been prepared. So the second model is the SPV model, and this model has been very, very successful in a sense that we had generated 77,000 crores of revenue for Ministry of Railways without any additional investment. Third model is through the basically we have made a new business development cell, and we have entered into the market. We have started participating through the bids, and for your kind information, we have submitted bids to the extent of 11,665 crores, and in next 1.5 months we have planned for participating in bids to the extent of 13,784 crores. So altogether, if we see, we have started bidding recently, maybe 6 8 months back, and during this current financial year, we are planning and targeting around 24,000 crores of bids. Basically, we will be bidding. Then we have signed MOUs with NHAI, Tata, Braithwaite, Altino, Prosser. Uh, we have also signed an MOU with the government of Kyrgyzstan, and recently we were supposed to sign an MOU with Bharat Electronics Limited during the Defense Expo 2022, which was to be held in Gandhinagar 11th to 15th March, which has now been postponed because of the war going on. So that MOU we are going to sign when this date is announced. So altogether, you can see that we have got very sound, basically financial. Number one, expertise. Number two, the future outlook is very strong, and the fundamentals are very strong, and we have already made some alternate arrangements for entering into the market, either through the MOU or through bidding in the market. So the future looks to be very bright. For the first time, we are executing Indore metro projects after competing in the market, winning the bid, and the project has taken off very well. For the first time, we have entered into the consultancy services. We are executing three number of road consultancy works in any region. So altogether, if you see, the performance of RVNL has been extraordinary, excellent, and the future is also very, very bright. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We will now have the question and answer session. Anyone who has a question can raise hand on the Zoom interface and then unmute their line and ask a question. So till the time the question queue assembles, so I'll take the question. We have a question from Mr. Dikshit Doshi.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Sir, my first question is, if we see last time we had a con call after Q4 FY21 results, that time our order book was around 75,000 crore. Currently, we are at around 65,000 crore, and we have executed almost 13,000 crore revenue in 9 months. So broadly, we have only got 2-3,000 crore of fresh orders in this financial year. So how do you see future in, as just you mentioned, we'll be participating in almost 26,000 crore worth of orders. So there the competition will be only among the railway PSUs, or since now it is open for private sector also, so in this 26,000 crore, even the private players will participate.
So coming back to your question about the order book, that last time we had about 75,000 crores and today it is 65,000 crores. As I mentioned earlier, that we have got three models. Number one is the works which have been assigned by Ministry of Railways. So that is 65,000 crores. We have already participated in the tenders to the extent of 11,000 plus crores. we are planning to bid in next 1.5 months. That is by 30th April, 13,000 crores. So we are participating through the bids around 24,000 crores. Then we have signed so many MOUs. We are in the process of making SPVs. We are in the process of basically reviving one or two SPVs which were earlier formed. So altogether, what I see is that in the financial year 2022-23, we will have a new order of around 15,000 plus crores, 15,000 to 20,000 crores. And the maximum turnover was the last year, it was about 15,000 crores. And this year, the way things are moving, it is about 25% more, 25 to 30% more than the previous year. So whatever we basically consume the order book, that should be made available during the next financial year. And the sufficient order book is available even today for next 3+ years.
Okay. My second question was related to, so every project now onwards will be through tender only, or there are few projects like, which has a national importance will be given on a priority basis to us?
Your question is that whether we will be getting on nomination basis or whether we will be participating through the tenders. We have recently some instructions have been issued regarding participation through the tenders. We are prepared to participate in all kinds of infrastructures in the country, not limited to the railway infrastructures. We have already entered into the metro construction at Indore. We have entered into the consultancy services. We are signing different kind of MOUs, even the private companies like Tata, for building their infrastructures. So what I am saying is that now we are also open to venture the various avenues, not limited to the railway infrastructures being basically floated through the open tenders. And we are keen to enter into all kinds of infrastructures in the country. And we have participated in the tenders in Bangladesh. We have submitted some expression of interest in Bangladesh. And we have already signed one MOU with the government of Kazakhstan. So what I am saying is that we have opened so many avenues, and this can lead to the constant growth in our order book.
Okay. My next question is, regarding how do you see margins going forward, given, the earlier we used to get orders on nomination, and now there will be even private players will start participating in the tenders. So one, in terms of margin, and secondly, we as of till today, we do not have any much experience in terms of bidding. So what are we doing internally to strengthen our capability for bidding?
Okay, fine. So regarding the margins, in the FY 2021, we had a margin of 5.38%. This year, up to Q3 period, we had a margin of 5.72%. These are basically the projects which were assigned by the Ministry of Railway. Since we are entering into the market, so there is a possibility that margin may go up, and this will again depend upon, it is a very competitive market, and the kind of strength we are having. We have got a lot of technical expertise, and these infrastructure projects are complicated and complex. We have got the confidence that we will be able to deliver in time. We will be able to save the time and cost, and we will have a better margins for the infrastructure projects since we are entering into the market. And this figure of 5.72% will further improve in time to come.
And in terms of expertise for bidding?
Again, please repeat again.
Yes, so, till now...
Expertise for bidding.
Yeah, we have made a business development cell, and we have got the complete team available with us for bidding in any kind of infrastructures in the country.
Mr. Kushki, I will just add to, I'm Pradeep God, I'm CMD of Arbitration speaking. I'll just just add on to what Mr. Rajesh Prasad has mentioned, that yes, we were getting a lot of works on nomination basis, and because of some policy that we should also increase our footprint and not confine only to railways. So we have started bidding process, enter the bidding process. So I will mention like that Arbinal has performed extraordinarily in the field of railway infrastructure, whatever it was doing now. It's a very progressive, lean, a very nimble-footed type of organization. It's very adaptive, and now we have adapted very well to the bidding arrangement. So that is it is manifested by that we have already bid for. We were very fast. We were very fast off this thing. We immediately created a business development cell. See, it was a very what I should say, a sort of seismic moment for this organization when, from the comfort of getting work from Ministry of Railways, we were asked to bid. But we have adapted immediately, created a business development cell, and started bidding. Already out of whatever we have bid, the first project we got of Indore Metro, it is almost, I think, 1,600 crore. 1,600 crore. And already we have participated in tenders of 12,000 crore. Another 13,000 crores are being done. We have got very fast in forming JVs, forming MOUs to bid in this. And I can assure you that this organization will be extremely adaptive to whatever challenge it has been given. And I'm sure that this order book is going to increase. Our target is that we should have 1 lakh crore of order book at all times, and we should go on delivering around 20 to 25,000 crores every year. So this is our vision, and we are working to it, and we are very confident of achieving it. And full organization has had a paradigm shift towards competing in the market and getting the job and doing it equally well as we have been doing till now. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, one last question and then I'll join back in the queue. Any update in terms of our receivables from Krishnapatnam JV?
Yeah. Basically, we are making efforts in 3 fronts. Number one, that making all-out efforts to increase the traffic. Number two, reduce the expenditure in the KRCL. And number 3 is to expedite the arbitration case for outstanding amount of KRCL from Indian Railways. For the traffic, I will give you certain statistics that the first 3 quarters, the Krishnapatnam has shown an improvement of traffic is about 29%. It had carried about 8.28 million tons with respect to 6.39 million tons of the previous financial year's 9 months. And in terms of the portion earning, it has increased from 128 crores to 160 crores. That has resulted in an increase of 24%. So that particular aspect we are taking care of. For the reduction in expenditure, we have taken over the operation and maintenance of the entire line. And number 3 is the arbitration. This is very, very important for us, and we are on a very, very strong footing. And recently, MOR had filed a writ petition, which has been
Ministry of Railways.
Ministry of Railway has filed a writ petition to before the learned government of Telangana government, and the same was dismissed. So High Court has dismissed, and this was in favor of KRPL. So we are on a very strong footing, and the provisions made in the construction agreement and concession agreement fully protects RVNL in case of any eventuality. So basically our company is very strong, and there is nothing to worry about this.
Okay, thank you. That's it from my side. Thanks.
Thanks, Dikshit. We have the next question from the line of Sandeep. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sandeep Sotodia from Kolkata. Sir, I have just one question. This is with respect to the arbitration award that was expected in favor of one of the SPVs. I remember being told by the management that it is expected within a very short while. So could you just update us on what is the status and is it expected to come soon?
See, I'll tell you, the arbitration basically, the pleading was completed in February 2021. And then, as per the provisions made in the Arbitration Act, the award is required to be published within 1 year after completion of the pleading. So by that standard, it was supposed to be concluded by February 2022. But two things happened. Number one, because of the pandemic, the government gave the extensions for such pending arbitration cases. Number one. Number two, Ministry of Railway filed a writ petition before government of before High Court in Telangana, and that particular writ petition was dismissed about 3-4 weeks back. So because of these two things, the arbitration proceedings got delayed. But we still expect that in another 6 months, so 12 months is February 2022. So by August 2022, we should be able to get the award.
So one.
Sorry, I'll just add to what Mr. Rajesh Prasad has mentioned. We are also equally concerned, and we, through our lawyer and all, we are trying to impress upon the Honorable Tribunal to give the award early, because it is creating a lot of financial distress for Krishnapatnam Rail Company Limited. So we are leaving no effort to expedite the award. But again, it is something to the arbitration tribunal, but they are aware of the kind of situation that Krishnapatnam Rail Company Limited has got so much of huge dues of RVNL. So I am hopeful. Mr. Rajesh Prasad has said just like August 22. We are hopeful that we should get it much earlier. We are really pressing it. We are very much concerned on this thing.
Thank you. So one more question. Basically, we've been seeing quarter on quarter that, of course, being a PSU, we all want that taxes must be paid, and they must be paid to the maximum. But have we got any any plan of shifting to the new tax regime, which basically exempts us from taking any concessions on the exemptions, but the rate of tax is much lower. That way, I think we might be able to add more value to the shareholder.
Actually, we are availing this facility of Section 80 IA of income tax, which reduces our effective tax rate. There are still some projects which qualify for Section 80 IA. So our tax rates are right now quite lower than what if we shift to the new regime. So at this stage, till this 80 IA is supporting us, keeping the rates reduced, we are not planning for shifting. But the moment those projects are also coming to an end, at that time we will take a call. At this stage, we are not planning.
Okay, thank you, sir. That's all.
Thank you, Sandeep. We have the next question from the line of Parimal Mithani. Please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, so can you throw light in terms of the cash on the balance sheet of 31st December that belongs to you?
Clear. Your voice is not clear.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello? So,
Yes, you are audible, but there is a lot of background noise. It's there.
Okay. So can you throw a light in terms of the level of cash on the balance sheet as of 31st December? And secondly, sir, if you can throw light on your JVs, which you have, the 5 JVs which are working, what is the contribution going ahead from there and how do you see them going ahead?
And this is not the final number.
The question was not clear. What I should.
The final number.
Ankita,
Yes, sir.
yes, other participants who put their mind on lot of interference. They are not getting the question properly.
Parimal, can you just put in the question on the chat box? I think there is a lot of disturbance on, there is background noise from your line.
Yeah, ma'am, I'll do that. I'll just put the question in.
Yeah. So, first question is, what is the level of cash on hand as on 31st December 2021?
If we know the जो है हमारे अकाउंट्स तो है ही हमारा
So we have got a net worth of 5,000 crores and
वो नहीं कह रहा है ये
The cash and bank balance.
cash and bank. That around cash and cash equivalent readily, that is including flexi account is around 1,000 crore as on 31/12, and we have FDs and long-term FDs and other some place for work that is around 1,300 crore. So in total we have 2,200 crore cash as on 31/12/2021.
Got it. Also, his next question is, can you highlight the performance of various SPVs
okay, fine. So
and their contribution to the total company?
okay, so madam, if you see the performance of the SPVs, let us compare the figures for the first 9 months. Last year, we had an earning of 36.38 crores from all the SPVs. Whereas during this first 9 months, that is the Q3 period ending 31/12/2021, it has increased from 36.38 crores to 192.94 crores. And the share of RVNL, because we are having different shares for different SPVs. For example, Kutch, we are having 50%, Hardaspur, Paradeep, we have got 28.67, Krishnapatnam 49.76, Bharuch Dahej 35.46. Likewise, so this share of RVNL has increased from 25.97 to 88.48 crores. So in the first 9 months, there is an increase almost 3 times. It has become 3 times. So the performance of the the SPVs which are in operation, they are performing exceedingly well, and things are improving because of the higher traffic movement and higher apportioned earnings.
Got it. Parimal, do you have any further questions?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm just typing it in the chat box. Doing that.
I think
We'll
how many such lines are required so that I get an option?
Ankita, has everyone become mute?
Yes, sir. No, he was typing the question. So, the question is,
Take your time.
okay, yeah, till the time we will take questions, till the time he's typing, we'll take questions from other participants. Can we have the next question from Ash Shah? Please go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi.
Please go ahead.
So, in your annual report for FY21, you had mentioned about the High Speed Rail Corporation, a subsidiary which RVNL has formed for all the HSR projects in India. So, right now, around 3 weeks back, the Ministry of Railways has asked to prepare a DPR for 6 routes. So, could you throw some light as to how our subsidiary is going to bid in that? I mean, what is the revenue prospect that we can look in this particular SPV or subsidiary? Sorry.
This particular the subsidiary, this 100% subsidiary of RVNL, was basically earlier formed for the pre-feasibility studies, DPR, and also implementation of the high-speed network. Subsequently, the government of India decided that there will be a separate company named NHSRC, that is the National High Speed Rail Corporation Limited, that will be implementing the high-speed corridors. So during that time, we had done the basically pre-feasibility studies of the 4 metro cities, connecting 4 metro cities and the 2 diagonals. And subsequently, we have changed this name of this particular company from HSRC to HSRC Infra Services Limited. The idea behind change was that we wanted to enter into the market, and we wanted this particular company to become the bidding arm. And it has already helping RVNL in getting a lot of contracts. And HSRC Infra Services is also bidding on the strength of the credentials of RVNL. And as far as the new corridors, 6 corridors which you are citing, it has not been nominated to HSRC Infra Services. And whatever tenders, etc., are there in the market, based on the eligibility, we are participating either through RVNL or through HSRC Infra Services.
Thank you so much. That was my question.
Thanks, Ash. We have the next question from Sajal. Please go ahead. Sajal, please unmute your line and ask a question.
Sir, this is Sandeep Sotodia again. What we noticed in the last quarter was that there was a very good increase in the turnover, but it did not really result in increase of bottom line. Almost the entire incremental turnover was absorbed by higher cost and expenditure. Would you attribute this to any special or any other expenditure which was taken into account, or would you attribute this to?
Again, can you repeat the question, because last part was not clear.
Sir, in the last quarter, Q3, we saw that the turnover of the company, was very good. I think we went up by almost 30% Q1Q, but it did not really result in higher profits. Almost the entire 30% increase in the turnover was equally matched by higher expenditure or cost. What would you attribute this to? Otherwise, one would have expected that if we have a margin of 5 or 5.7%, any increase in turnover would, be that much profits would also go up.
Okay, I am just seeing the report of the Q3 performance. So in first 9 months, we had a basically turnover of 12,944 crores in comparison to 9,825 crores of the previous financial year's 3 quarters. So that was an increase of 31.74%. Now, if you see the margin part, the margin of first 9 months of the FY 2021 was 488 crores, and it has increased to 740 crores. So the margin had increased to the extent of 51%. It has not reduced. The margin has gone up. And if you see the gross margin per by turnover, this is about 5.72% with respect to 4.97% of the previous 3 quarters. So in terms of the turnover as well as in terms of the margin, both the parameters are up.
Sir, my question was pertaining particularly to the Q3.
Pertaining to only Q3 you are asking, and I'm giving you the reply of the holistic reply of the 3 quarters combined together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this happens, and
I'm Sanjeev Kumar, Director of Finance. Even the profit after tax has gone up compared to the corresponding period by around 20%. So it hasn't gone to up by 30%. That's because expenses have gone up over the year, and COVID situation also necessitated certain changes. But otherwise, a 20% profit after tax is there compared to the same quarter last year.
Sir, the profit after tax 20% can be largely attributed to the profits from SPVs and JVs.
SPVs and JVs. No, this is consolidated. Yes, to some extent, yes, but
see, if you see, only one SPV has reported profit, and so one SPV cannot make this much of difference. Our expenditures are within that limit what we maintain, 33.5% of turnover. The only thing that has gone down a little bit is miscellaneous income because of the falling interest rate as decided by RBI, and whatever little bit interest we are getting on our deposits, short-term deposits, has gone down. So our miscellaneous income has gone down. Secondly, up to third quarter, we don't get any dividend from even one profit-making JV, that is Kutch. It is normally not done. And particularly this year, because they are reinvesting, so we have not insisted on any dividend from them. So miscellaneous income has gone a little bit down, but expenditure are very much under control.
Sir, I would persist with the question that in Q3, the entire incremental turnover has been absorbed in cost. We are not talking about the other income or miscellaneous income or profits from interest earned, but the turnover, sir, the performance of the company has been very good in Q3, but it is not reflecting in the bottom line.
The first item is
sir, on.
If you see the expenditure, the first item is basically contractual payment, and the turnover is directly proportional to this. Unless this goes up, turnover cannot go up. Basically, you multiply it by 8.5 roughly, you will get the turnover figure. So it has to go. If the company has to grow. If you see the balance item, staff cost and all, that is almost comparable. It has not gone up. Expenditure, the first item is contractual payment, what we say, expenses on operation. It has to go up. Otherwise, the company cannot grow up. So increase in expenditure is basically increase in expenditure on operation. That is our contractual payment or payment for infrastructure. So that has to go up. We cannot. It is requirement for the company that it should grow.
Fine. Okay, sir.
This is something. If you can kindly share your email address, we will give you a complete analysis of this because I think we have not been able to satisfy your query fully.
Sir, Mr. Gaur, sir, you're not audible, sir.
I'm sorry. So, Mr. Sandeep, I will request you if you can give your email address. We'll give you a complete analysis because I think we have not been able to satisfy you with our reply.
Yes, sir.
So if you may kindly give your email address, we will give you a complete analysis so that there should not be any, so that our answer should satisfy you completely.
Thank you, sir. I'm putting my email address on the chat below. And
Right.
Ankita
Thank
will
you,
be able to share it with you.
And we will
Sure.
get back to you within a day with the complete analysis.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sure, Sandeep. I will pass on
Mr.
your
Sandeep.
coordinates.
One minute. I think Mr. Chaudhary wants to just supplement the reply. May kindly be here.
Yes, sir.
Other than that contractual payment, I said, other expenses, that is indirect expenses, for the for this and to the end of 9 months, I can tell you that our expenditure was 9 months for the current financial year. It was 250 crore. Same figure for the last year's 9 months is 258 crore. To that extent, our own expenditure we have reduced. This includes the staff cost, depreciation, and all other. So here we have shown a reduction of 8 crores as compared to previous 9 years 9 months. So this cost has not gone up.
Right. Okay, sir. Once I receive the yes, sir. Once I receive,
I think, sir, his question is more this thing that why the profit and all has not increased to that extent.
proportional to the turnover.
Mr. Sandeep will give you complete analysis with complete details. Within a day, we'll reply to you.
Sure, sir.
And you can suppose still you have this thing. Kindly, you can always we can email. We can. Exchange mails and definitely will completely satisfy you on this query.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Sandeep. We have another question from Sajal. Please go.
Yeah, sir, thanks for giving me this opportunity. So, sir, my question is like going forward from the investor perspective, your order book tracking will be very important for us. So, is it possible that if you can include the order book in all the quarterly results going forward?
You see, what I'll do as far as the results are concerned, will confine to this thing, but definitely we will share the order book details through this investors this thing interactions. But you can always
whenever we will get any work from market or anywhere, we will be informing SEBI. It will be available in the website and through exchanges also.
Yes, sir. So, my next question is: can you tell me till date through bidding, like how many orders we are able to secure in this financial year?
So far, we have secured the two packages about 1,500 crores for Indore Metro. We have got 3 packages on the consultancy services, and it's basically it is a new arena for us, new field for us, and we have started bidding very recently, few months back only, and we have participated in bids to the extent of 11,600 crores. We are planning to bid another 13,000 crores by 30th April. So altogether, it will be 24,000 crores. And basically, it is a competitive market, and it will depend that how others quote. And whenever we will get any work, any order, that will be intimated to all concerned, including SEBI, and it will be posted in our website also. So information will be relayed to all concerned. And we expect that in next financial year, we should have at least 15,000 crores of projects afresh from the market or through the MOUs.
Okay, sir. I think that will be very helpful. Sir, just one more question from broader understanding perspective. So, sir, after this financial year budget, though the capex for railways has increased, but I think the entire focus was on new trains and was more toward the safety of the trains and bringing in more faster trains. So just wanted to understand from your perspective, is the focus has changed from expansion of the network to safety and bringing more fast trains? So going forward, the entire capex by the government will be towards that. Because I just want to understand, because that is not our expertise, right? So our expertise is in doubling of line, new lines, gauge conversion, electrification. But over past 2-3 years, I've been seeing that there's no growth in the order book, right? because maybe the government focus has shifted to some other part of railway now. Is my understanding correct?
No, see, the infrastructures and the speed of the trains both are linked. See, the four, the metro cities, that is the New Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, and Mumbai. If you connect the four sides and the two diagonals, this comprises of around 16% of the route, but it carries about 58% of the passenger and 56% of the goods traffic, and more than 95% it is already congested, oversaturated. So the double line, third line project, the railway electrification project will ease out the basically traffic, and then the speed potential of the section will go up. Ministry of Railway, this year they are doing the gauge conversion, double line, third line, new line projects to the extent of around 2,000 to 2,500 kilometers, where RVNL's contribution will be around 1,000 kilometers. Next year, they are planning to have 6,000 kilometers. And then the role of RVNL comes into play. Because we have got the expertise, we have been contributing substantially for the Indian railway infrastructures in terms of the physical delivery, in terms of the capex.
So, sir, that means that next year we can expect more orders through bidding because those orders will be more from our expertise.
We are already having the order book of around 65,000 crores, which includes the projects, basically includes the projects which have been assigned by Ministry of Railways. So these double line or third line or the new line projects, the expenditure and the metro lines, the expenditure will be booked as per the capex given by the Ministry of Railways. We are going to have a very healthy outlay, which will have an increase of around 25% with respect to the previous year. So the capex will be there, the expenditure will be there, the physical output will be there, and in addition to that, we are going to have the new orders from the market or through the MOUs or through the SPVs. And altogether, if you see, we are going to have new orders to the extent of around 15,000 crores plus.
Okay, sir. Thanks for it, sir. So my last question, any update on the merger with IRCON?
See, we have not been officially intimated about this issue. And whatever decision takes place by the Government of India or Ministry of Railways, we will abide by that. But the only thing which we have been telling that these companies were formed with different objectives, and we are totally a different company. Now, since you have asked on the merger of RVNL and IRCON, so here I would like to tell you a few statistics. We will be highlighting only the performance up to Q3 only. So up to Q3, if you see the performance of RVNL with respect to the IRCON or some other PSUs, then we had done a turnover of 12,944 crores, whereas IRCON had done only 4,100 crores in the first 3 quarters. So it is approximately the RVNL's performance is 3 times. And similarly, in terms of the project delivery, we have done around 1,800 kilometers, whereas the IRCON's performance would be around to the extent of around 150 kilometers. So in terms of the project delivery, physical or the financial, we are way ahead. Our strength has been the project delivery, and these companies are different and they were formed with different objectives, and we have been performing exceedingly well, and we are the right company for the building of the railway infrastructures, which are complicated and complex in nature.
Thanks, sir. That's it from my end.
Thanks, Sajal. We had a few pending questions from Mr. Parimal. So one is, has the government asked the CPSEs to give quarterly dividend?
No, I don't think so. There is no such instructions.
Okay. Also, can you please give breakup of 89 crores of JV and also previous 9 months ended 31 December 2020?
88.48 crores. So you basically wanted to know the breakup of this 89 crores of the earnings the RVNL got from the SPVs?
Yes.
Yeah. So the
And similar number for previous year. Previous year 9 months.
Previous year 9 months we had an earning of RVNL share was 25.97 crores, out of which we had Kutch Rail Company was plus 83.5. The Haridaspur was minus 8.9 because during that time it was in construction stage only. Krishnapatnam was 44 crores negative, and then Bharuch Dahej was 4.20 crores negative. So this was the measure. And now if you see the performance during the first 3 quarters of financial year 2021-22, the Kutch Rail Company has given a profit of 103.95 crores. Haridaspur, which was having a loss of 8.9 crores in the previous financial year, it has given a profit of 10.53 crores. The losses in Krishnapatnam has reduced from 44.6 to 26.6 crores. Bharuch Dahej, which was in loss of 4.20 crores, it has given a profit of 0.5 crores. So if you see altogether, in totality, the share of RVNL increased from 25.97 crores to 88.48 crores, and the major contribution was the Kutch Rail Company Limited.
Thank you. We have the next question from the line of Dikshit Doshi. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity again. 2 questions. One, you mentioned that still some of our projects are under 80IA benefit, and therefore we are not moving to the new tax regime. So, according to your order book, till how many years do you expect that will remain in this 20% tax rate?
See, from 1/4/2017, there has been a change in income tax, so no new project will get a 80IA benefit. Only existing projects which were covered by 80IA can continue to get this benefit for next 10 years. So any new project will not come. Only the old projects are there. So we expect another 2 to 3 years that we will be able to avail 80IA. And in between, we will take a call what is to be done for the new tax regime.
Okay. And my last question, you rightly mentioned that, RVNL has performed exceedingly well over last 3-4 years. If I see, we have grown at almost 25 plus or even 30% plus CAGR. So in this bidding process, do the ministry only consider the lowest bid in terms of margin? Or do they also consider that over last 5-6 years we have, our execution was much faster than the other railway PSUs?
Your question is regarding the bidding in the Indian Railway infrastructure projects.
Yeah. So it's
okay. Basically, it goes by the price. This one, I don't think there is any other consideration beyond the financial offer. I think that is the deciding factor.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Dikshit. In case there are any further questions, please raise your hand through the Zoom interface to ask your question. That seems to be the last question. Thank you so much to all the participants for having logged on to the call, and thank you to the management of RVNL for giving us the opportunity to host this call, and we wish you all the best for your future performance. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.